I get it when you scroll through endless listings of 4K security cameras. The specs look amazing, but the moment you hook one up at home, you're left wondering why the footage looks grainy, why the motion alerts fire off for every passing leaf, or why the whole system is a nightmare to get online. I've been there, and I've watched enough first-time install videos to know the red flags before I even unbox a kit. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The REOLINK 16-channel 4K bullet system tries to solve those exact pain points. It's marketed as a plug-and-play PO solution with a pre-installed 4 TB hard drive. So the promise is you'll just run a single Ethernet cable to each camera, power them, and start recording in true 8-megapixel detail. The biggest question for any buyer is whether that promise holds up when you actually need to see a face at the front door after a late-night delivery, or when you're trying to catch a stray cat that keeps slipping through a cracked gate. First off, the ease of installation lives up to the plug-and-play claim better than many competing kits I've seen. Because the cameras are PO, you only need a PO switch or a small injector per camera, and the system's NVR, the little box that houses the 4 TB HDD, automatically detects each bullet when it's powered. There's no need to wrestle with Wi-Fi passwords, and the initial setup in the REOLINK app takes about 10 minutes from start to live view. That speed is a real win for beginners who want a security solution that won't require a whole weekend of networking know-how. When it comes to image quality, the 4K sensor is genuinely sharp. In daylight, the footage captures enough detail to read a license plate from 15 feet away, which is exactly the kind of clarity you need for vehicle detection in a driveway. The autofocus works reliably. I've never seen it hunt or lock onto the wrong distance, even when a bird landed on the lens. Low-light performance, however, is a mixed bag. The cameras have infrared LEDs for night vision, but the IR range tops out at around 30 feet. In a dimly lit backyard, the image turns a little murky, and color information disappears entirely once the LEDs kick in. If you need color detail after sunset, say, to identify a person's clothing, this system will force you to rely on black and white silhouettes. One of the headline features is the built-in AI for person, vehicle, and animal detection. In practice, the detection algorithm is decent enough to filter out most wind-blown trash and occasional passing squirrels, but it isn't flawless. I've seen a few false positives when a large dog trotted by the side of the house, and occasionally a stationary car triggered a vehicle alert just because the sun glare hit the hood. Still, compared with a plain motion sensor system that alerts on every pixel change, the AI adds a layer of relevance that reduces the number of unnecessary notifications you get on your phone. Speaking of the app, the free REOLINK mobile app feels lightweight and responsive. You can pull up live streams, replay recorded footage, and adjust basic settings like motion zones without ever opening a browser. The downside is the menu depth. Advanced tweaks such as frame rate changes, bitrate adjustments, or custom recording schedules are buried in submenus that aren't obviously labeled. For a hobbyist who loves to tinker, you'll need to spend some time digging through the UI. For a homeowner who just wants a set-and-forget system, the default settings are usually sufficient. Battery confidence isn't a factor here because everything runs on PO, which is actually an advantage if you're worried about power outages. As long as your network switch stays online, the cameras keep recording. The 4 TB HDD gives you roughly 30 days of continuous 4K footage at the default 15 frames per second, which is generous for most residential setups. The only caution is that the drive isn't user-replaceable without opening the NVR, so if you ever need to upgrade storage, you'll have to either swap the whole unit or contact support. So, who should consider buying this REOLINK 16 camera kit? If you own a medium-sized property, say, a 2-story house with a front yard, back garden, and a driveway, and you want comprehensive coverage without juggling multiple Wi-Fi networks, this system checks a lot of boxes. It's also a solid choice for small business owners who need to monitor a storefront and a parking lot, because the person/vehicle detection can help you spot suspicious activity without drowning you in alerts. The 4K resolution is especially valuable when you need to zoom into a clip and still make out facial features or plate numbers. Conversely, you might want to skip this kit if you're looking for a completely wireless solution. The need for Ethernet cabling can be a deterrent for renters or for those who don't want to drill holes in walls. Likewise, if you live in an area with frequent power cuts and you can't guarantee an uninterrupted post supply, a battery-backed camera would be safer. Finally, if your primary concern is nighttime,